Morning guys, Bob Murphy again. We're going to do a further presentation here about gas consumption because previously we talked about how long a tank would last. Now we're going to talk about how many bar you use in a certain amount of time at a certain depth. So a slightly more complicated presentation today. Why would you use this? Again, very much a technical diving thing. Certainly in technical diving you'd want to be able to transfer your gas consumption calculations to the surface to work out something called your SAC, your surface air consumption. A little bit beyond our presentation here, but very easy to make that step once you've learned this. Okay. So we're going to start very, very simple. There's my C. I'm at 1 atmosphere. Yeah. And because I have nothing else to draw, I'm drawing a tank. Now, my question says to me that my guy uses, at the surface, at 1 atmosphere, he uses 15 bar in 30 minutes. And what it wants me to find out, get my tank again, at 20 meters, 3 atmospheres, and it says what does he use in 20 minutes. Cool. So I've just transferred my question onto, very clear what's going on there. So the first thing I want to do is work out my very basic surface air consumption. So I say, well, this is 1 atmosphere is cool. 15 bar in 30 minutes. So in 1 minute, it would be 15 bar divided by 30. Yeah? So up here, I'm going to write next to this, at 1 atmosphere, he uses in 1 minute. 15 divided by 30 is 0.5 bar. Cool. So that's my SAC, and as soon as I know the size of my tank, I can work that out in litres, which is what they want in technical diving. Cool. Now I'm going to factor in my depth. So I'm going to take this information down to 20 metres. So first of all, I'll factor in the 3 atmospheres. At 3 atmospheres, he uses in 1 minute. I won't factor in the time just yet. So he's going to use 3 times as much. So 3 times that, 1.5 bar. Cool. And now, at 3 atmospheres, he uses in 20 minutes. And quite simply, I factor in the time now. 20 times as much, 20 times 1.5 is 30 bar. Pretty cool? That's the answer to that one. Okay, now let's go one stage further and take it from one place underwater to another. I'll use slightly more complicated numbers this time. Okay, in salt water again, and again we have 1 atmosphere. Yeah. So at 18 meters, uses 40 bar in 20 minutes. I want to know, I'm about to go on my deep dive, how much air I'm going to use at 40 meters. I use how much in about the 7 minutes I'm going to spend there. Cool, that's a very relevant calculation right there. So the first thing I'm going to do is take it to the surface. Yeah. So sorry, let me put the pressures in. At 2.8 atmospheres at 5 atmospheres. Okay, so at 1 atmosphere, he uses in 20 minutes. First of all, I'm getting rid of the pressure. So I say, hey, to take this up, I must divide by 2.8. Okay then. So I use 40 bar, slightly more complicated numbers. Yeah. I'm going to use 2.8 times less, divided by 2.8. 14.3 will do me, yeah, being conservative. Yeah. So I use 14.3 bar. And now, let's take the calculation one stage further. At 1 atmosphere, he uses blank in 1 minute. I quite simply say, hey, this 20 minutes, divide this number by 20. So 14.3 divided by 20. He uses 0.71 bar. Doesn't matter what the bar is, the numbers are true. Cool. Now I need to take, that's my SAC, my surface air consumption. Again, I could transfer it very easily into litres if I wish, for the size of my tank. Now I'm going to take it back down. And I'm going to say, at 5 atmospheres, I use how much in 1 minute? Cool. 5 times what I was using at the surface. Cool. 0.71 times 5. $3.55. Bar. And now the very final step, I'm going to factor in the time. At 5 atmospheres, uses how much in 7 minutes? 3.55 is already on the calculator. Yeah, times that 7 minutes. 24.85. 24.85 bar. And you can see that number there. If I were about to conduct the deep dive to 40 meters, that would be quite reassuring to my customer to say, hey, yeah, you're not going to run out of air in the time we're spending at 40 meters. Quite a simple calculation really, especially with the help of a calculator. Just literally bring it to the surface, double check yourself and bring it back down again.